Hello, scholars, and welcome to the final part of the geometry final exam review. So let's jump into 31, which says find the value of tan W, run it to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So since it's saying tan, let's write SOHCAHTOA. And let's figure out that tangent of W is going to be O over A. Oh, sorry, we didn't label. Let's label first before we jump into that. So this is W right here. So H is right here, O is right here, and A is right here. And now I can go ahead and write my ratio. And let's fill in our ratio. O is 30, and A is 40. And so we're going to round it to the nearest hundredth, right? We could know that 3/4. We know what that decimal is, but if not, just put in your calculator. 30 divided by 40, we're going to get 0.75. All right, so number 32, determine the equation of the circle with radius 4 and center 5, -3. And we're going to start with our formula, or not really our formula, our standard equation of a circle, which is, let's keep looking, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And then the center, right, is going to be our hk. So 5 is going to go in place of h, and k, our y is -3. So minus -3 is just +3. And radius of 4, so we're going to put in 4 for r. 4 squared is 16. And that's our equation. All right, let's go to number 33. And now for number 33, this is the one where if it's intersecting outside, right, and part of it's inside, part of it's outside, we're trying to find FG right here. We're going to multiply our outside part, which is 15, times the entire thing, which is x plus 15. And that's equal to our outside part down here, which is 14, times our entire thing, right? 14 plus 9 is 23, right? This whole thing is 23, just like this whole thing is x plus 15. So that's where I'm getting these numbers from. So now I'm going to distribute. So 15 times x is 15x. 15 times 15 is 225. Yep, 225. 14 times 23 is 322. And now we just have a two-step equation from here. So subtract from both sides. You get 15x is equal to 322 minus 225 is 97. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 15. My last step is 97 divided by 15 to give me 6 points, and then to the nearest tenth is going to be 6.5. All right, number 34, find the length of the third side. If necessary, round to the nearest tenth. So since I don't have any angles here, right, and it's a right triangle, I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem, right? So use Pythagorean theorem, which means I'm going to write a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If it helps to label, so right, our hypotenuse across from the right angle is c. Our legs are a and b, doesn't matter. It could be ba, does not matter. So we're going to put in 4 for a, trying to find b, and c is 5. 4 squared is 16. B squared, we don't know yet. 5 squared is 25. Let's go over here. All right, so if I subtract 16, actually I'll just write it again. 16 plus b squared equals 25. So now let's subtract 16 from both sides to give me b squared is 9. And then what is the square root of b squared? B. What is the square root of 9? 3. So our answer is 3. All right, don't forget to take the square root. All right, number 35, quadrilateral HIJK is similar to quadrilateral LMNO, which means I can set up a proportion. So to find the measure of side OL, which is right here, I'm going to just go from left to right. Just stay consistent. So 33.5 over X, right? This side matches up with this side. And how do I know, right? Or, I mean, I can just look at it. But also, KH, right, or HK, first and last letter, that lines up with LO, right, LL. So that's my first ratio. And now I have 14, right, over 57. Again, just go from left to right, just stay consistent. And then just make sure you match up the letters. So now I can butterfly. So X times 14 is 14X. And 33.5, here, let's write that down, 33.5 times 57. I'm going to put that in my calculator though. So 33.5 times 57 gives me 1,909.5. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 14. So I'm going to divide by 14. And my answer is 136. Rounded to the nearest tenth is 0.4. All right. Going up to number 36. So we have a measure of arc HK being 56 degrees. Find that HJK. Again, this is the central angle. Central angle is equal to arc. Right, central is equal to the arc. We know it's central because the vertex is right there in the middle. Since they're equal, it's just going to be 56 degrees. All right, now 37, this one is a special right triangle. Now again, just like the other one, it looks like we could use SOHCAHTOA, right, because we have one side, right, and yeah, technically we could just use SOHCAHTOA or special right triangles like interchangeably, but I'm going to show you the special right triangle way, which was we set up two triangles, right? We have our rule here. So if it's a 30, 60, 90 triangle, that would be, let's look at my note sheet here. So across from 30, here let's label 30 and 60. Now across from 30 is 1, across from 60 is root 3, and then this one is 2, right? And then with our question here, our hypotenuse is x, and our, it's an x there, and then our bottom here across from 30 is 9. So I'm going to use this now to set up my proportion, right? Let's go left to right. So 2 over x, right? So hypotenuse to hypotenuse is equal to, and then 1 over 9. Okay, like bottom to bottom. Okay, so now I've set up my proportion. So now I can cross small y, butterfly. X times 1 is just x. 2 times 9 is 18. So my answer is 18. All right, 38. Again, another right triangle. This time we have to know what to use. Again, we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. Again, because there's no angle here, so you have to use Pythagorean theorem. So let's write down a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And let's label, right, across from the right angle here is our hypotenuse. So this has to be c. And then these two legs are a and b. So 4 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. I just realized this is the same exact triangle from the other one, I think, right? That's okay. So 4 squared is 16, 3 squared is 9. So it's the same process, even though this is the same exact, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's the same like 3, 4, 5 triangle we just had, but it's okay. As long as you use Pythagorean theorem, you know, as long as you know how to do this, it'll be fine. So 16 plus 9 is 25 is equal to c squared, right? All we're doing is plugging in and then simplifying. And our last step is to take the square root. Don't forget to take the square root. So C is equal to 5. All right, we're almost there. 2 more. So diameter of a circle is 7 centimeters. Find the area. So our area formula is A equals, and that would be pi r squared. And so this one, see how it doesn't give us radius, it gives us diameter. So we have to think about it. If diameter is 7, what is our radius? It's going to be half of this, which is 3.5. So I'm going to write pi, and I'm going to plug in 3.5 for r. And then when I put into my calculator, I'm going to put in pi times 3.5 times 3.5 equals, and that gives us 38. Oh, it's the nearest whole number, so just 38 centimeters squared. All right, last question. Another one, but it's not area, so a similar one, but it's circumference this time. So it's the formula for circumference, which is just pi d. Okay, diameter of a circle is 12 inches, so we're going to put in 12 for d, and then let our calculator do the rest. Pi times 12 equals, then we're going to round this to nearest tenth, so that would be 37.7 inches. I think I forgot the unit on this one. No, I did not. Centimeter square, this one's inches. All right, and it doesn't matter. It's going to be multiple choice. The units will be there. So that is going to be it for our review. You are doing the practice, right? You should have done the practice for part 1, part 2, part 3 already. So I'm going to do part 4. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.